Do you have a business that you want to promote live on our show? Send all inquiries to speakup757@yahoo.com. 757. Pump it up. Speak up. 757. Pump it up. Speak up. 757. Pump it up. Speak up. 757. Pump it up. 757. Speak up. Let's get back to the basics. Topics from us to you on a regular basis. Reevaluate, heal ourselves, save our children. Senseless crimes be happening too often. Bring the love back, pimp smack the hate. Let's see what we can do. No, it's not too late. So get the coffee up in your cups. Open your eyes, and speak up. 757. Pump it up. 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 757. Speak up. Speak up. Speak up. Pump it up. Pump it up. Pump it up.
Peace, peace. Welcome to SpeakUp 757. I'm your host, Kimbria. Peace. And today we have the one, the only, Professor Griff here with us today to share a few thought patterns and also to promote his new book, Symbology. How you doing today, Professor?
I'm trying to be like you, be sure.
Oh, gratitude. Well, for those of you who don't know, we're looking at one of the original members of Public Enemy rap group. We're looking at an activist. We're looking at someone who is putting awareness out in our community of what is going on with our people and the government that is against our people. Peace?
Peace.
All right. So, symbology. I haven't myself got the copy because someone has been selfish with it.
Yeah, he ordered about 9 different copies, so
Right.
9 different times.
But me being a Moorish American, I deal a lot in signs and symbols. I understand that signs and symbols are for the conscious mind. So in this book, briefly, what are you covering?
Ooh, I covered the 9 areas of evil activity that Dr. Francis Westbrook gave us and point out those symbols that they use to manipulate aspects of our consciousness via our sight, so our energy centers. So some symbols are ours, but they use them for subversive purposes.
As, i.e. the swastika.
Yep, exactly. Swastika is ours. It's a very positive symbol. They take it, flip it, change the energy, use it for demonic purposes to manipulate, control, murder, and kill people. But yet, when you turn around and you see how we indigenous people interact with the swastika, it turns into something else.
Exactly. Now, being that you come from the hip-hop world, I myself noticed a lot of symbology in hip-hop that they use against our people that our people don't even realize. For example, you look today and you see all of the so-called black artists, they have crosses around their necks. Now, to a regular person, they might just not think of it as anything but, oh, they're just representing their faith. But could you just give a small detail of what those crosses around our so-called black brothers' necks represent, and why is it so important that the celebrities have them in the images that are pushed on us?
Well, if you ask those brothers and those historians, those researchers, lecturers, brothers like Ashraf Kwesi Hill, and he teaches on the cross. The cross is a sacred symbol. It's etched 5 inches thick, deep into the pyramid walls. We call it the pyramid text, the coffin text, and some other writings. The cross is not evil in and of itself. It's a very sacred symbol. But now when you're hanging the white boy on it, bleeding off of it, it turns into something demonic and something totally different. It turns into the whole idea that I mentioned in my first book, The Psychological Covert War on Hip Hop, when I talked about blood sacrifice. And that's where that whole concept comes from. But now the brothers that wear the cross, they don't have the slightest idea of that bit of history. So they're wearing it, like you said, thinking that it's representing their quote-unquote faith,
Right.
of which they don't practice, don't preach, do everything to go against it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's very critical when you try to bring this kind of information to brothers like that in the environment that they exist. You're talking about taking a sacred symbol, using it in an environment which speaks to everything that's against what the symbol is about.
Right. Right, exactly.
But you see diamond encrusted, flinging it in front of the camera and stuff. So I'm trying to understand that particular dynamic. And a lot of times, more so than often, you see a lot of them wearing two crosses, sending a signal that you've been double crossed. And a lot of people don't pick up. In the book, I talk about the Exxon gas station sign dealing with energy companies. If you look at Exxon, you spell it out from us seeing it in the hood, EXXON. But if you really look at it closer, which I talk about in the book, it's not two X's. It's an upright cross of Lorraine, which they tilted sideways.
Wow.
And they use these kind of things, and they do this simply because they use symbols like that in high rituals.
So let me ask, what is so important with the mass of the people being fed these symbols, and why is it so important that they get these symbols pushed in their face subconsciously? Because a lot of people don't realize or understand that they're getting pushed in their face.
Just like it is if you was to ask me about everyone's health in this room, unbeknownst to us, there's nanoparticles in the air from the chemtrails that they spray. The average person wouldn't know. But so we would ask the question, then why? Then I would direct you to the underarm deodorant, which has aluminum,
Right.
fluoride in the toothpaste.
Right.
Can't drink the water. I could go on and on and on, and then you could ask at the end of that, why? They want a nation of zombies. They want to be able to turn us into sheep, useless eaters, people that don't think for themselves, knowing just enough to run their factories and their machines, press the button, pull the lever, turn the wheel. That's all they need you for. They don't want you thinking. You understand what I'm saying? Manipulating the masses of the people, keeping us as slaves. That's the ultimate reason. For me to go into some science fiction kind of stuff would be crazy. That's the bottom line reason. If I had 30 to 60 million mind-controlled, mindless zombie slaves that will eat anything, breathe anything, buy anything, the whole idea of stock car racing, not even stock car racing, just, I was in Indianapolis and I mentioned Indianapolis 500, y'all heard of that?
Yes.
But if you really stop and really think about it, these are thousands and thousands of people going into a racetrack to watch the same set of cars going around a track 500 times. That's fucking entertainment? Hell no. That's stupid. That is outright idiotic. But you see, mindless slaves that will buy $100 ticket to sit up in the hot sun to watch a car go around the track 500 times.
Okay, before I do forget though, we did have 2 questions from audiences who knew you were coming for the interview. One of the questions was, do you feel that the black male mainstream artists of today are downgrading the lyrical value of hip hop compared to other genders and races in the hip hop scene?
I wouldn't lend credence to other races.
That's my
They give that. No. So the last part of that question, they don't even count. I drove by the window. I forgot what street it was. And the Irish people were getting together for a parade. Can you imagine me stepping up in that space and trying to change the dynamic of what the Irish people are about? And
it's not going to happen.
it's just, see, so why do we let it happen? Why do we let other people come into our culture, hip hop, and change the dynamic of it? And then we turn around and validate them. And then you look years later, they're the ones at the top of the charts making all the money.
So would you agree that...
It's called cultural appropriation. But go on, what you saying?
Pardon me. So would you agree that symbology has kind of conditioned our people to accept anything and love everyone but themselves? Like I know it's like we spend our money on everyone but ourselves, and that's a conditioning that I believe that symbology has a lot to do with.
Yeah, that's steeped in the psychology of self-hate. We weren't taught to love one another. So then if Sister Ray opened up a restaurant, I don't think to come spend my money with somebody that looked like me. That's just psychology of self-hate. But your other question as far as the lyrical content, I think this generation that's now running, not ruling, running hip-hop, because they're only allowed to run their course.
Right.
It's almost like that rat in a maze trying to get that cheddar, that cheese. You understand what I'm saying? Every time that bell ring or that light up. Amos Wilson talks about in his book, several of his books, but it's almost like you have your time and your 15 minutes of fame, and you try to get as much as you can get out of it. And now, it's critical. I was doing some studying last night on this thing that I'm going to talk about a little bit later on, at the House of Consciousness, that Mark Zuckerberg unveiled last week. He has this thing now called brain to text. You know, we have this thing on the phone, you're talking to your phone, and the message will print out and you just hit send.
Right.
Well, now they got brain to text. So I can open my phone up, put the phone there, think about what I want to say, and say send, and I can send a message to this brother right here.
Yeah.
You know how dangerous that is?
That's scary.
So much so that we don't even have to communicate anymore. We can just be quiet. Now back to the question you asked. What does that say for the mumble rappers that are out there now? That we can't even understand what they're talking about any old damn way. And if we was to get an interpreter, what are they actually talking about? Now, what if we discover that they're speaking truth to power behind all that mumbling that they're doing on the records? I think we'd be pleasantly surprised and shocked at the same time. But they're not. Because we're living in a day and age where they speak in 140 characters. And I can say that about my own children. It's like, you know, I'm like, could you have called me when you got home? Let me know you safe. When I sent you a text message, Dad, I'll get down like that. Call me.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But since they speak in 140 characters, since they don't have this interpersonal kind of connection and relationship, they feel a text is cool. I'll send you an email tomorrow. All good. Or they'll send a smiling face. Like, what is that supposed to mean?
So how do one start to become more aware of the symbols around them and start to just protect their conscience of what they're taking in as far as these symbols?
I'm going to ask everyone what they don't know. Asking people that are watching this. Let's be mindful of the subconscious urge to have this loyalty to brands. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know what I got. I don't know what these sneakers are. They just look nice at the store. They're comfortable. I don't get into that.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But we have brand loyalty. Let me give you a taste test. Just these two people right here, brothers and sisters. What kind of sheets you have on your bed? Thank you. Cotton picking sheets, right? We don't care about the brand.
Right.
We just need sheets on the bed.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I can ask your brother about the undershirt that he got on, or the toaster that he used to toast the toast, the do-rag, or what. We don't. Now, what happened in hip-hop? That all of the other races, the French, the Italians, everyone else came in and introduced these brands now, and we had this thing about we had to mention the brand that we had on. Because it made us something that we're not, so to speak. You understand what I'm saying? And that's just real. So now I'm going to talk about brand loyalty. The loyalty that we give to brands. I know some cats that gotta have Jordans,
Yeah.
gotta have Nikes, I know women that gotta have Louis Vuitton, gotta have Gucci, gotta have red bottoms, gotta have this. And it almost seems like it gives us this false sense of not superiority, but success. And it's an illusion. Because them people that make them brands don't care nothing about us. Don't even want us wearing this stuff. In most cases. You understand what I'm saying? So this whole brand loyalty, I see it. But because we live how we live, and it's not a bad thing because we survivors. Nobody on the planet has been through what we've been through and lived to tell about it. You understand what I'm saying? But for me to turn around and say I'm wearing so-and-so kind of hat, so-and-so kind of sneakers, and my watch is so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so, that speaks to the death of black people. You understand what I'm saying? Because we own none of this. I don't own a factory that makes these. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If them people turn this switch off tomorrow and say, nah, we're not selling no more toilet tissue. I don't care how pushed you out to go to the bathroom, how would you take care of your business if you don't have toilet tissue? You understand? If they say, listen, I tell you what, tomorrow Sunday, 12 o'clock Sunday, white people, we out here. Black people, y'all on your own. How are we run the government? Where's the military? Where's the engineers? Where's the chefs? You understand what I'm saying? How are we going to protect the sisters? You understand what I'm saying? So will the strip clubs stay open? Will the fast food restaurants stay open? How does that work? Right. We have no infrastructure. So we need to start thinking in terms of, and I challenged audiences, and I challenge every audience that I'm in front of. Whatever I say today, let me be mindful of what I say and what I do, because this film can be watched by people seven generations down the line. My children's children could watch this. So I gotta be mindful and careful about what I say. Somebody asked me to come on a talk show, and I said, well, send me the clip and let me see what y'all do. They're actually on the talk show bashing black people, so-called conscious community leaders. And I said, well, why would you want me on there? And I sent a threatening message to the dude. I said, if I come on there, I'm gonna bring my crew, and you ask me one question out of line, we're gonna rearrange this motherfucking furniture up in here. Plain and simple. Why would you even have a show like that?
Exactly.
That's like me, brother, inviting me to come here to talk about Omar or City or Professor Smalls or somebody, Sonnet or Red Blue. We don't do that.
Right.
You understand? We have to be mindful of that. You see, it's that kind of madness. We got to rid ourselves of that element. You understand what I'm saying? And quietness is kept, whether we want to accept it or not. All of us belong to this community. Whether you call it conscious, cultural, or whatever you call it. This is all we got. It's a raggedy ship, but nonetheless it's floating. You understand what I'm saying? And we're going to get where we need to go. Plain and simple.
Well, Professor Griff, we do thank you for extending your time and your words. Do you have any closing suggestions that you want to leave to the audience, maybe about your book or just about the subject? I
think if I had to suggest anything, especially for the people that has purchased the book, redefine print. I want people to develop this idea of reading what I didn't put in the book. It's 300 pages. It took a year, some change out of my life after being injured in a car accident. I had to sit still with nerve damage in my legs. They have to sit on the end of the bed to actually finish. This is a hard labor right here.
We appreciate it.
But the most difficult thing about this is not driving and watching our people and see what affects our energy centers. The hardest thing about this was to put this in a language that Tay, Twan, Peanut, Day, and the rest of them can understand. Because they're not coming to the lecture. They're just not. So we got to go to them. So I wanted to put something in their hands that is, 5, 6, 7 pictures on each page. You understand what I'm saying? The paragraphs are written in short. It's like a sandwich. We bite off pieces at a time.
Right.
You understand? The pictures almost explain themselves. I thought it'd be better to write it in that way and make it big. You understand what I'm saying? Where they can grasp it real easy. So the task I'm charging y'all brothers and sisters with is get it, take it, and not only be the filter for it, all right, but crack it open and teach the lesson. I don't have to be here to teach the lesson. You understand what I'm saying? You talked about the swastika. That's right there. And they use the swastika for demonic purposes. But you probably know better than I do. Being a learned and a studious woman. You could probably teach this better than I can. See, but this is what we failed to do. All those elders that came before me, what I did was kind of take their work, all right, and pass it on through my filter. But I always point back to the elders. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Even when y'all see me got into that little bit of drama with a few people, I didn't act on my own. I went back to the elders and asked them for some guidance and some instruction. Because if they were left it up to me, I'd have tore some shit up. You understand what I'm saying? But I can't do that.
Right.
So just to be real, so when I say redefine print, how long have you had the book? Mr. Free man.
Like what, 2 weeks now?
2 weeks. Now, I doubt it that he read this line right here, up on the book too. It's a reference book of subliminal seductive manipulation of consciousness and cultural retrograde. See, if you would have read that, he would have asked me when he gave me some data outside. If you would have read that, you would have said something about that, simply because that's how they get us. When your cultural guard is down, they feed you with lies. And they bombard these images. They bombard your subconscious with images. So when you come up out of that, and you kind of shake it off, so to speak, and then when you go to interact with your own culture, they are there. Because they catch you in subconscious cultural retrograde. You understand what I'm saying? So you know when Mercury's in retrograde, it's hard for us to communicate. But you see, we're gods and goddesses. So when I talk about the Illuminati in here, of course I'm talking the imitation Illuminati, because we are the illuminated ones. And to prove that, we adorned the pyramids with limestone. I'm not sure if y'all knew that. We used to be able to see the pyramids from thousands and thousands of miles away because they glowed at night. And then they took all that limestone and took that limestone and that material back to Mecca to build mosques. You understand what I'm saying? But to show you who the gods and goddesses are, we did that for a divine reason, because as above, so below, as within, so without. Whatever is up there, because we adorn that. You understand? We did the same thing here. And to show and prove to these people, Elijah Muhammad said, we buried cities that we refuse to allow them to find. So that when they go and dig it up, they're going to find us.
That's right.
So when they, right, exactly. So when they dig, they might run into a smiley face brother like, I've been waiting on y'all. You understand what I'm saying? Because we there. We're there. So I want to leave the people with that, to let people know, I always say I am. Because we are. Therefore I am. I'm nothing without y'all. You understand what I'm saying? And that's just real. So these young brothers coming into the conscious community, doing their thing, making their videotapes or whatever, man, you gotta respect the architects, man. You can't just come say anything. You definitely can't come disrespecting the elders.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? There's a crew of us now building this army that we're gonna put a stop to that in a minute. And we just warning people right now. There ain't nobody you gonna turn to. Not the Popo, not the Peach Fuzz, none of them. You understand what I'm saying? Not your old drunk ass uncle, not your dude that you thought was in the gang, and none of them. We just let people know, look, if you're gonna come before the conscious community, just get your ish together, man. And learn a level of respect. Now let me just be real with y'all while we're in this.
Go ahead.
The Crips and the Bloods, can you run up in there doing anything you want to? Talking about anybody? You can't do that shit, right or wrong. Let's take it on a higher level. MI5 and MI6, CIA, Alphabet Boys. You can't run up in there. Shit, you can't even do that at the Glee Club, at the choir on Sunday morning in the church. You can't do that. What makes you think you can run up in this saying and do what you want to do? And we're not going to say nothing. So the Amon Ra Squad going to hook up with the FOI. FOI going to hook up with some other brothers. And then they're going to hook up with gang members and some other people, and we're going to put a stop to that. Because this is all we got.
Right. And we looking
Plain and simple. When that piece of trash told them people, gave them people my address, I'm like, because they were threatening me, and she knew it, and gave the people my address, I had no other recourse. I told the elders, and the elders went like this. They said, handle your business. I got the nod, and that's exactly what I did. I rounded up my crew, got locked and loaded, and we waited on their ass. When they didn't show, we went out looking for their ass. That's just how that worked. Plain and simple. Even if I got beef with this guy, and he'll tell you, because it's a man code we live by. You don't threaten nobody's family, man.
That's right.
When that happened, that brother turned into a whole different brother. You understand what I'm saying? And that's how serious we gotta be about this. Plain and simple. But anyway, I just wanted to leave that, man.
Wow, I truly appreciate that. Now, hopefully one of these copies will be able to go home with me today.
Yeah, I brought 3 extra copies with me.
Cool.
Those 2 are his.
So I'm definitely going to charge myself, because that's what I do anyway on a daily basis other than teach. So I'm going to get into these lessons and do as you charged us to do. And as my concluding thoughts, I just would like to say that the brother mentioned letting go of these brands. Our people hold on to these brands like they are their mother and like they are Jesus Christ himself, which we know the truth about both of them. So Once again, we'd like to thank you for coming to Speak Up 757. I'm your host, Kim Bria. Until next time, peace, peace.
Peace.
Speak up, 757. Dump it up. Speak up, 757. 757. Speak up. Speak up. Speak up. Dump it up. Dump it up. Dump it up. Dump it up. Do you have a business that you want to promote live on our show? Send all inquiries to speakup757@yahoo.com.